Talk to him.
Classic codes, I ain't taking it slow. Forgive me, Lord, I woke up in that mode. Whether the winters were left in the cold.
Segue, we got the code language discussion of the day. So the code language discussion of the day is about understanding the journey. Yeah, it's about understanding the journey, man. So I think that I was having a conversation with a friend of mine yesterday, actually, and we were talking about how sometimes people could be judgmental or come off as judgmental and things like that, and just not understand or have empathy or compassion for the fact that everybody kind of at different places in their journey at different times. And I had to say in that conversation, I was candid. I said, I know that I can come off as judgmental or even be judgmental. And with respect to the fact that there's a difference between a judgment and an assessment, I can come off as judgmental because I'm going to always speak truth based on where I am right now. But it doesn't mean that I don't have empathy for the fact that somebody else may be a little bit farther back on their journey. They may not have be where I'm at. And I might be talking to somebody that's farther along in their journey than where, there's somewhere that I strive to get to, I think that the big thing is to not be offended. Like there's a book called The Four Agreements, and they talk about not taking things personally. If you're not offended and you listen to people to understand, I think that oftentimes people could see when the difference between when somebody on bullshit and when somebody actually speaking from a place of love. Because sometimes when you, like, for example, if you got somebody close that's near and dear to you, but they smoke cigarettes or tobacco products, if you love them, you're gonna say something. You see, like this whole like soft approach and live and let live and don't judge, that's how you become an enabler, for real. That's how you quickly become an enabler. Like if you love somebody, you gonna say something. Now you might only say something once, so they can't say you ain't say nothing. But at some point you gonna say something if you give a damn, for real, But that's not somebody to take the defensive approach and be like, why you judging me? Or we all got a vice, or nobody's perfect, and they get on that type of energy. Well, really it's just like, yo, it ain't even about whether or not anybody else dealing with what you dealing with, or whether or not somebody looking at you crazy. It's just, I'm around you, I care about you, I want to see you be the best version of yourself. So that's what type of time we on. Like, don't take it personal. Like, I'm saying something because I give a damn. I think a lot of times that's why some people keep their mouth closed, because they feel like, I don't want to come off mean, or I don't want them to feel like, man, if you care, say something, and you could still have respect for the fact that it's tough. Like, for example, I'm hard on my family members about carrying extra weight and eating bad food on a consistent basis and not having like exercise habits. I be hard on my family about that because I want to see them around and I want to see them have a high level quality of life. But I ain't judging you. I'm making an assessment, right? I'm assessing. The definition of assessment. Let me read it to y'all. Assessment: the evaluation or estimation of the nature, quality, or ability of someone or something. So if I'm looking at you and I could see the lack of discipline that you currently operating in, and I could see the poor, the habitual poor lifestyle choices that you in the cycle of, you know what I'm saying? That's not a judgment, that's an assessment. And based upon my assessment, we need to have an intervention because I give a damn. But it don't mean I can't relate or empathize with the fact of where you at, because at a point in my life, I was about 267, 68 pounds, and I'm only 6'2". And even though I had muscle on my body and I carried it decent, it was still a situation where it was like I had to look at myself and be honest with myself, have a self-assessment and look inward and just be tough on myself. You have to be tough on yourself. And I think a lot of times looking in the mirror, some people just avoid it. They avoid their reflection. They avoid the tough conversations that they need to have with themselves. And they avoid the delayed gratification that's necessary to get where they want to go. Because, like, for example, if we're talking about obesity, you don't get to, like, I didn't get to 268 pounds overnight. I got there over a span of time, putting on probably, a couple pounds a month for a couple years, boom, you look up, you go from being 6'2", 205 playing college basketball to a couple years out of college, 6'2", 255 playing in the men's league, and it's just like, what the hell's going on? But you just slowly but surely just tacking on the pounds, and it's due to lifestyle. So I had to look at myself and say, hey, I'm gonna change my habits. I want to be healthier. And then as a side effect, you just start looking better. You know what I'm saying? You start feeling better, you start looking better. And then that take your confidence up another level. It's just like your greatness and your confidence and all that shit come from preparation. When you know you living right, when you know keeping your promises to yourself, you got a different energy, you got a different aura. That's just what it is. And then some people get uncomfortable around you because they see you and they see your discipline, and they know they operate in a lack of discipline, so they'll feel judged just by your presence. They'll feel judged. But you just got to understand that we all at different phases in our journey. Like with me, when I holler at the homies, like if I bump into somebody I ain't seen in a minute and they look and I can see the lack of discipline in them, because we outward manifestations of our habits. So if I see the lack of discipline in them, I just tell them, hey, I see you put on a couple since the last time I seen you, dog. Yeah, man. Hey, you know what you got to do? Yeah, I'm finna get on it. All right, then. I dap them up, give them a hug. Hey, let's get to work. And let me know if you need anything. For sure. I see you being hey, slide on me. You see I be in the gym. Let's get one in. Let's work out. You know what I'm saying? My man say I'm 6'2", touch 250, got down to 235 with better eating habits. Started working more, and now I'm down to 222. Hey, round of applause for that man. Hey, us 6'2" dudes, man, we carry that weight so well. You know what I'm saying? We'll get lazy because that 235 be looking just like the 250 with clothes on. They can't even tell you that heavy. People probably don't even know you was 250, do they, Joe? Yeah, when you 6'2", G, it's like a crazy height. Cause like you could, when I was 260, people was like, ain't no way you 260. You probably 225. And I was all of 260. Had titties and everything for you talking about. Yeah, had to get right though. He said facts. Yep. You carry that weight so well. G, you carry that weight. So you know what made me really understand it though? I caught myself in the mirror sideways one day and I was looking like I was in my second trimester. I said, nah, life, like this ain't my life. I've been an athlete my whole life. This can't be life. See myself sideways. I was looking like I was in my second trimester, boy. Look, I was finna have twins, boy. I said, no, sir. No, sir. But then I ended up yeah, and the second reality check was I couldn't shop everywhere no more. You try to go find some clothes for the weekend, we finna go hit the club. I can't shop everywhere no more. I'm going in the store trying on 38s. I'm like, why these hoes ain't fastening? On God, my waist had got up to a 42. I think at one point I had a set of pants that was a 44 in the waist. No, sir. No, sir. Belts long as hell. All that. Nah, man, that ain't no. That's why I know, because I've been big before. That's why I know ain't no all the people that be playing like they big and confident. That's cool. You can keep lying to us, but don't lie to yourself. Go get to work. Ain't nobody big and loving it. Nobody. Everybody want to be in shape. Even if you the type of person that want to carry extra weight on you, like you prefer to be like a thicker person. There's men who want to be like buff versus lean. You know what I'm saying? Even still, you still want to be an in shape version of whatever body type it is you want. That's just a fact. Nobody want to be fluffy and all over the place. Nobody, not one person. If there's a chart and somebody say pick your desired body type, nobody going to fluffy and all over the place and selecting that above every other body type. That's cap. You lying to me and you lying to yourself and you will probably lie to God. That's cap. But yeah, man, it's a journey and we all just gotta, you know what I'm saying? We all gotta go to work. We all got to go to work, man, so we could just be the best version of ourselves. I think everybody deserves to see a prime. Everybody deserves to see a prime where you have your habits and your discipline in order for a long enough period of time to see yourself at like your highest elevation. Like you running your fastest, you feel your strongest, your skin is clear, your hair is growing, you know what I'm saying, your beard, if you a guy, your beard is full, if you a woman, your booty sitting up right, your chest sitting up right. Like everybody deserves a prime, a window of time where they just in their ultimate glow, their essence. Everybody deserves that. But you can't see a prime without establishing discipline. and like real quality habits. But I believe that. I really believe everybody owe that to themselves. To even just be able to go back in their memory book when they 85 years old and still walking and jogging a little bit because of how they took care of themselves when they're young, they still deserve to go back in that photo book and see, like, man, between this year and between these 10 years right here, you couldn't, hey, listen, couldn't nobody hold a candle to me. You couldn't tell me nothing. I was what I wanted, I had it. Whatever I wanted it to be, that's what it was. For that whole decade, you talking about from you know what I'm saying? Like Unc should be able to look back in the memory book and say, man, from 72 to 82, nigga, I was a demigod. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody owe that to themselves, I feel. But yeah, man. This been a great live, yo. And I think that's good. I think we good for the day on this one, man. For sure, for sure. That's the code language discussion, just understanding the journey, man. If y'all haven't already, make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all hit the like button and make sure y'all tap in with me every day. The live's gonna be a different time, so you got to turn on your notifications so you can catch up with me, man. And we just gonna keep the content going. Make sure you subscribe to my other page, Classic Codes Sports, where I do reaction videos, predictions, sports takes, and I even talk a little bit about the betting lines too, so we can all get a little bit of paper. You know what I mean? I'm about to check my parlays when I tap out right now as we speak. But yeah, man, without further ado, if you don't do nothing else, I need you to stick to the codes. Yes, Lord.
Classic codes, I ain't taking it slow. Forgive me, Lord, I woke up in that mode. Whether the winters were left in the cold. Harden my heart and now harden the flow. They don't know me for real, they just... Classic codes, I ain't taking it slow. Forgive me, Lord, I woke up in that mode. Whether the winters were left in the cold. Harden my heart and now harden the flow. They don't